Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brad. In my hands is Redfork, the graphic novel from TKO Studios. Really interesting publisher, handling things, distribution a little bit different than a lot of the other publishers, and it's very commendable working for them apparently. Really interesting stuff. Definitely check them out. We'll have links underneath this video. Now, they've hooked us up with this review copy as well as I think it's their third wave of releases. Maybe second or third, I don't know, whatever. Latest wave of releases, and it's a really interesting graphic novel, really interesting comic series. So it's written by Alex Paknadel, Nil Vendrell is the artist, Giulia Brusco is the colorist, Ryan Ferrier is the letterer. So Redfork. It is a story about a guy about a West Virginia town, a mining town, coal town, and there's secrets underneath. A guy who is in jail returns to the town to kind of like pick up where his life left off, and while he does so, another stranger returns to town as well. This one has deep, dark secrets regarding the town and the coal mine and the company that runs it. It's a really, really fascinating graphic novel that kind of feels like it's a layered story about corporations and mining and the abuse of corporations and workers. There's just a lot to unpack here, and it's kind of hard to discuss all that without ruining the story. So I can kind of do my best to do that without totally ruining things. So Amcor is the big mining company. There's a wildcat strike. Things don't go right. A bunch of scabs wind up going under the mine, and disaster happens with one person surviving. How that person survives is a deep, dark, evil spirit, I think is the best way of describing it, that winds up kind of infecting the town, and we learn the history of this evil spirit. And it's kind of a really interesting story in that you got this layers of this evil coal company, and then this other evil also abusing the people of the town. So the story is really about this exploitation of the worker, and a man who's kind of caught in between all of that. And I think it's kind of a fascinating read in that there really is no one good, and you kind of have to almost choose at points the lesser of two evils. And I think it's this really interesting tale. I think it's purposely supposed to be kind of a reflection about reality, in that there is large corporations and a lot of people who would take advantage and exploit the worker, and in the end, wouldn't care if we wind up with black lung or debilitating disease due to the work we've done and the destruction of the land around us due to their work, but really just cares about the what we can give to them as a company. And I think it's a really fascinating read because of that. And there's other things you can kind of take out of it. I mean, if there's maybe some kind of religious connotations here and there, but I mean, just overall, it's a really interesting story, kind of extracting real world issues and just kind of turning into a fable. It's a fascinating read. It's really, really fascinating. It's one where you want a book club to discuss it afterwards. The art I really like. I like Vendrell's style. I'm trying to think of who it reminds me of. There's like a maybe a Frank Quitely kind of vibe about it after a while. You can see kind of Cody and why I'm kind of getting maybe a Frank Quitely vibe. But it's a good mix of horror and kind of slice of life everyday stuff, and it never really crosses the line into shock when it comes to the horror and the evil and all that. So it never, I think, really drags you out of the story by the visuals, but there's just enough there to kind of make you unease and a little gross at times, a little kind of want to vomit at times as well. It's a really good graphic novel, a really good comic series to read. I like it. I like it a lot. And for those who've maybe watched videos, maybe read my writing or listened to the podcast, I'm not the biggest horror fan, and I'd kind of put this in the horror category. And this is generally what I kind of like horror. I don't like that slasher over the top, I'm going to scare you, gore porn, stuff. You know, Hellraiser doesn't do it for me. Saw, like, toes the line. You know, I kind of like the more psychological stuff. Maybe scares a little bit, stuff like that. You know, and this kind of toes that line for me. It's pretty solid in that. So overall, I think it's just a really layered, interesting story and series with solid art. And, you know, I recommend it. Like, if you've never checked out TKO, you know, this is a good one to start with. You know, we'll have some links underneath where you can purchase. You can actually do it some different ways. I think there's digital package. You can get them as, like, single issues. You can send it as a graphic novel like this. TKO, as I said, just a really fascinating way they're doing things as a publisher. So go check this out. It might be in shops. That I'll put the link to shops underneath. You can go put in your zip code, try to contact a shop by you to see if they can order it. If they can't, there's also going to be some links probably to TKO sites themselves. I don't know if there will be any affiliate links, anything like that. This is a little bit different one to kind of purchase. But if there are affiliate links, you know, of course we get a small percentage, and by doing that, you help support our site. But go support the comic shops. Go support TKO directly if you need to. And speaking of support, again, I want to thank TKO Studios for hooking us up with this review copy. Appreciate it, and thank you for watching. Now, if you're into comics, if you're into graphic novels, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.